When I was a little boy, my parents died when I was about only 4 years old, and because of that, I was moved from house to house until I became 5. 6 different families took care of me, but because of my odd actions, indifference made them decide to give me back to the orphanage home. Well, I was different from them, so it's not their fault. The difference was I had an imaginary friend named Hartness that only I could see and hear, and that's why the families I've been with on a few weeks and months sent me back. Sarah, the oldest daughter of the orphanage homeowner, she was the only one who actually believed me. She didn't let me be alone whenever I was there, helping me when other kids bullied me. She was the only one who truly believed me that my imaginary friend, Hartness, truly exists. Did you hear that? Miss Science daughter is protecting Kenneth. Some of the kids would whisper behind our back. Kenneth Dawson? Yeah, he's such a weirdo. He's always at the corner and talks to himself. Yeah, that's why Miss Cyan always told her daughter not to hang out with him. But does she listen? The kids began to throw small rocks at Sarah. Even though she was 3 years older than most of the kids here, she was one of the weakest. She couldn't protect herself against 7 to 8 kids throwing rocks at her. Why not protect her? You can always burn a little kid. Hartness is a demon. He won't admit it himself, but I knew he was one when I first saw him. I was around 3 years old when I saw him. I was playing football with some friends, and there he was, floating on air and smiling kindly. I talked with him, but my friends left me saying that I began to act weird, and saying I was talking with myself. I always wanted to get rid of him, telling him to go away, but he's always around me, smiling or laughing at everything I do. I learned to ignore him, but then as I grew up, the urge to listen to him and obey him grew stronger. You can only say the word, Kenneth, and I will give it to you. Hartness always talked about power and ability, that I could rule the world with it, making others bow down before me and Hartness. But I didn't like the idea. No, Hartness, I would say to the demon that only I can see and talk with. I knew that other children around me were looking at me strangely, whispering mean things and all, but I didn't care. Kenneth, do you know that demons was actually angels? They are angels before, but when they followed Lucifer instead of God, God banned them from heaven and sent them into the inside of the earth called hell, along with Lucifer. Sarah knew a lot of demons and angels. Maybe that's why she's always protecting me. But I could feel that Hartness didn't like her. But then, when I became 8 years old, everything became harder to handle. Sarah didn't care about me anymore. She was a preteen back then, and it was understandable. She hanged out with her new friends. You don't want it now? Hartness would ask about that once or twice a day, but always ignored him, though the desire to accept his offer was hard. I learned that Sarah was only protecting me, that she felt bad about me. She actually never believed that Hartness ever existed. I was, and never will be believed. Years quickly went by. I was 13 years old, and was still at the orphanage home. Kids began to call me names as Freak, and other things that's not good little kitties. Years, and Sarah had completely forgotten about me. My only human friend completely ignored me when I passed by her in the streets or at the orphanage home. The faithful day came again. New foster parents, meaning new people to know about my demon friend. How do you feel, Kenneth? Would you like the power if you don't like them? I began to completely ignore the demon as if he never existed. to save my parents from my new family. Carl and Jenna was their names. They were nice and caring. Also, they were pretty much rich. Carl owns a restaurant and Jenna inherited money from her deceased grandparents. I quickly forgot all about my life at the orphanage home and moved on to my new life. I became popular at my new school because I'm the transfer student and my foster parents were rich, and it's pretty well known there. I learned that they couldn't get children. Jenna couldn't get pregnant because she had her uterus removed because of cancer. It was sad to hear that. Jenna cried for minutes before she calmed down and helped me and Carl for moving my stuff at my new bedroom. Well, my new room was empty at first, but it got filled with furniture, clothes, and souvenirs weeks later. We had a lot of fun back then. 7 years passed away, and in those peaceful 7 years, I never saw Hartness, which was more comfortable to talk with others. In the past years, I studied to become a firefighter, which was really easy for me. I passed the test with ease. It made Carl and Jenna proud. Well, Kenneth, seems like your dream is now true, Carl said and patted my head. Kenny, just look at you. You're wearing a real firefighter uniform. Jenna was really proud. She was smiling widely and almost cried and hugged me. It was quite peaceful. Just thinking the party that night when I became a firefighter made me happy. It was really fun and a little embarrassing. When Kenneth said he wanted to become a firefighter, I couldn't believe him. He was only 14 back then, but look at him now. 20 years old, handsome, and a real firefighter. I wouldn't be surprised if a crowd of young and beautiful ladies ran after him. Carl laughed when he spoke at that microphone, so all the people they have invited could hear him. So, you're a firefighter, right? And that's when I met Meredith. Her voice was beautiful as she looks. Her blonde hair sparkles when the light hit her. Yeah. I was embarrassed at the moment. Carl was talking about when they adopted me at the background. How I acted when I for the first time saw their house and all. So, how does it feel to be a firefighter? Meredith leaned closer towards me, and that's when I saw Hartness again. He was grinning wider than ever. I could feel his demonic aura. Just looking at his face made me angry. If it wasn't for him, I would have a different life, maybe better than this. But I'm happy with this life. Hartness. I murmured and left the party. What I didn't know was Meredith was following me. Hey, handsome guy, she shouted and jumped at my back. Just look at her. Hartness paused and took a close look at her figure. Well, well, well. Kenneth, my little boy, is growing up so quickly. I just hope that that demon would just shut up and go away again. Kenneth, what's wrong? You look tired. Meredith went closer to me. Just tired and all. I should go home now. Just tell Carl and Jenna that I'm home waiting for them. Well, I think it's better if they don't know. Meredith and I began to date after that. Though, it was annoying that Hartness is always with us. She couldn't see him mocking her and all, but I'm afraid to tell her. She would break up with me and will think I was crazy and need a mental check. Maybe I need a mental check. Well, anyway, Meredith began to act differently a few weeks later. She would check her phone more often and go out to talk with some friends. I know, I was suspicious at that moment, but then I overheard her talking one day. Not now, John. I'm with him now. I don't know when we will do that. The time will show. For a few days, I speculated who she was talking with. Maybe she was cheating, or just talking with her friend. But I got even more curious, so I sneaked on her phone while she was taking a shower. Miss you, John, Hart. Will you be right there? I'll sneak away tonight so we can see each other again, Hart. Reading those messages she sent to John made me angry. Just thinking about how she tells me how much she loves me, more than anything else, made me even madder. Dude, why not accept the offer? Hartness floated above me. Shut the heck up, Hartness. I yelled loudly and left the room. Kenneth? Who are you talking to? Meredith came out from the bathroom, half covered in a wet towel. I didn't say a single word. I just threw her mobile phone towards her and got from her apartment room. I never heard from her again, but it made my heart shatter a bit. When Carl and Jenna learned that she cheated on me with another man called John, they actually talked with me, asking me things and helping me up again. I felt lucky having them as my foster parents. 3 years slowly passed away. I don't even remember how many I've dated. Just trying to find a girl right for me was difficult. I learned how to talk with them. Just talk sweetly with them, and they will follow you everywhere you go. I was slacking off at the fire station. We had nothing to do that night. But then, the alarm rang loudly, and my coworkers quickly began to take their firefighter uniform on. Men in uniform yelling at each other, telling them to hurry up to the fire truck so they can turn off the fire nearby. Kenneth, hurry up or else boss will talk with you again. One of my coworkers took my wrist and dragged me to the big red truck. Moments passed away, and I was watching a burning house. It was my foster parents and my home. The fire made crackling noises as it burned the house down to ashes. Probably the old woods. I was scared but angered. Such a beautiful fire. I wonder who set it up. Right, Kenneth? Hartness asking me that just made me madden. I put my gas mask on and tightly grabbed my axe and went for it. I entered my burning home and searched for Carl and Jenna, hoping that they are alive and well. Carl! Jenna! I kicked doors to enter the rooms, but there was no sign of them. No sign of my protectors and saviors. No sign of these two people who actually loved me and took care of me as their own child. I got frustrated and anger building up inside me, blaming myself that I should have just stayed home so I could know and help them. I stopped in a moment and began to cry. My sight got blurry and the thick fog made it impossible for me to see. I took my gas mask off, big mistake of a firefighter. I screamed in pain as the fire around me hit my face. The strong hot flame caught me. I shouldn't have stopped. I should have just moved forwards and searched after my foster parents. The fire was eating my right skin. My skin felt melting away as my body is on fire. I was screaming, crying in pain. You know, Kenneth, I can save you from this hell. Hartness softly laughed. I can make the pain go away, only if you say yes. Yes. Good. I blacked out. I couldn't remember what I was doing, but I didn't feel the flames burning my skin away anymore, which is a good thing for me. I could hear myself laughing in a dark room, but it wasn't my voice, it was Hartness who was laughing. Dark, deep, and evil demonic as always. I saw a door right beside me, and there was a sign that reads, "For Freaks." That suits me well. I tried to open the door, but it won't budge. "Hartness," I whispered, but no reply. "Hartness," I shouted. That demon tricked me. He said I wouldn't feel any pain, that if I said yes, he and I would rule the world with ease. Yes, my own holy soul, and your solid body. Hartness appeared before me, and his eyes opened wide, and his tongue sticking out like a snake, which is actually creepy. "What do you mean by that?" "Well, I was inside the cell before you, and I want to get out and have some fun. On Earth, not in this hell." The demon paused and looked around. "What I mean by that is, I need a real human body. When I came up there, I couldn't do nothing like touch and talk with others. But then I saw you, playing football with your friends, and you looked at me and smiled." Yeah, I shouldn't have definitely not done that. "And that is when I knew that I need your body so I can go berserk up there." What do you mean by that?" I couldn't get what he was saying. "You are really clueless, kiddo. I can only use your solid body because you're the only one who can see me. I can't enter a human. You can't see me. Just because I'm a low-ranked demon. Get me out." I whispered. Hartness smiled and tilted his head. How about no?" That damn demon wouldn't let me out. I don't know what he did up there, but I sure want to know. I attacked him, punched him. I actually fought with a demon, which is quite unbelievable. I was tired of getting fooled, getting tricked, getting bullied, and getting cheated on. I let my anger on this demon, not on the people who made me a fool to others, but this demon was the one who made me a freak to others' eyes. Moments passed away, tired, and my hands hurt from the punching. I finally stopped and looked at Hartness. He was still smiling. Now a small human like you is going to beat me down. He didn't attack back. I just stared at him blankly, not saying a word, just stare. "How are Carl and Jenna?" I whispered. The demon right in front of me began to laugh, dark and evil. "If you want to know about it that much, why don't you take a look?" I woke up, not in a hell cell anymore, but right in the middle of a flaming inferno. I screamed and tried to step away from the middle of the fire, but something was off. My body was on fire, but I can't feel the fire burning my skin. Though my body feels warm and hot, I wasn't sweating or felt burning. It just felt normal. I placed my hands to my face. It felt a little bit weird, but at last, it's not burning anymore. While wondering what is happening to my body, I looked around and began to search for Carl and Jenna again, but something didn't feel right. The other firefighters was not in any sight. They were gone. I thought that they found Carl and Jenna and moved them out from the burning house. I quickly ran towards the door and left the house on wildfire. What I saw horrified me. These corpses lying on the ground that have deep holes on their firefighter uniform and blood everywhere on the ground. My coworkers had been murdered. Some of their limbs had separated from their bodies, like almost a ritual or something. Then I looked at my axe. It was bloodstained. There was still some flesh and hair on its sharp end. What happened? I asked myself. Looks like I got carried away while you were gone. That damn demon of Hartness. How dare he come back after what he did to me and to my coworkers? You demonic asshole! I shouted angrily, tightly grabbed my axe even more and swinging it towards him. But I missed again and again and again. You can't hit me, Kenneth, because I'm just part of your imagination. Liar! I yelled. Kenneth, I heard a faint voice and turned around to see who it was while I swung the axe with me. I had something soft and hard inside. Blood squished out from the open hole that belongs to someone dear to me. My foster mother, Jenna. The demon beside me laughed as hard as he can. My heart skipped a beat when Jenna fell limbless on the ground. I looked down to her. Her neck was full open. Her throat was exposed. I tried to close her neck using my own hands. There was so much blood and I couldn't stop it. Kenneth. I heard Carl calling my name. I looked up. He was looking at his beloved wife, who can't move on the ground, with an open neck that is oozing blood. And there I was, bloody axe on right hand, and left hand on her open neck. It was an accident. I tried to explain. Hartness was... He wasn't even looking at me. Carl kicked me away from her, and that is very understandable. His eyes was telling me that he's getting angrier. I've never seen the look on his face, which at the time made me scared. He looked at me, angry eyes focused only on me. I remember it clearly when he attacked me, charged at me in full speed and beat me up. I think he lost himself back then. He was screaming loudly that rang in my ears for hours. The speed of his fist hitting my face and all was just painful. I couldn't take it anymore. I remember pushing him away from me. And when I tried to punch him, something different happened. My hand was caught on flame out of nowhere. I was shocked and scared, but I didn't feel anything burning, like back then when I woke up in the middle of the fire. And that's when Hartness explained it to me, that I can control flames around me, or I can just create them out of nowhere. Since I accepted his offer just to save myself from the fire that had caught me back then, he gave me the ability of controlling flames as a gift. I could hear the other fire truck coming closer. It was for a backup in case something happened. What are you? Carl whispered in disbelief. He was scared, of course. But then something creeps through my veins. A warm feeling like something new had awakened deep down inside my mind. I faced Carl and went closer to him with a flaming hand. I could see him breathing heavily. Sweat fell from his face and softly lands on the ground. I am a freak. A flame freak. I smiled. Hearing the corpse of people burning to ashes is the best thing now. That feeling when a burning house collapses to the ground and spreads the fire like a wildfire to other houses. Everything is just perfect now. Didn't your parents ever told you not to play with fire? Mine didn't.